Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Ryan. I'm an Australian educator for Light Elegance nail products and also Beauty World here in Australia. Today I'm going to show you how to do a French ombre in gels, a Salon version. This takes about 35 minutes for me. It's on an existing client. So what I'm doing is debulking the nails to begin with, removing length and debulking. I like to take off about 80% of the product for this method. So using an e-file is a really quick and easy way to do this. Using an e-file has also saved my shoulders and my wrists. I've been in the industry now for 20 years. I hand filed for the first 9 of those until I started getting problems with my shoulder and my wrist. So I forced myself to use an e-file and now it's absolutely my best friend. I couldn't work at the speeds that I work without my e-file. So just to look after my body, I try to use my e-file more than my hand file. All of the bits and the products that I'm using today are available from the Australian importer of Light Elegance, which is beautyworld.com.au. And if you're in New South Wales, they're available from my supply store, prosalonsolutions.com.au. And I'll pop both of those links below. So as you can see, I'm right-handed. So with my e-file, I'm always making sure that I work from right to left in an anti-clockwise direction. And I'm never keeping the bit in one spot for too long, always keeping it moving just so that the heat doesn't build up and we cause discomfort to our clients. Now some of this video is in real time. I've tried to show at least one hand in real time, and then the boring parts on the second hand I have sped up just to keep this video a little bit shorter. I'm working over my M&D extraction table, which sucks up a lot of the dust and keeps it out of our breathing zone. And I'll pop a link to the tables below. Okay, now we're on to the second hand, and I am just going to speed this one up to get through a little bit quicker, but exactly the same method, trying to remove at least 80% of the product. So by the time we put these 3 layers of gel that are needed for the French ombre, we're not adding too much thickness to the finished product. So I'm almost taking the nail back to the natural nail, but I am leaving a little bit of gel on there just as a buffer to ensure we're not filing into the natural nail. The important thing about gels is the integrity of the natural nail. So I always like to leave that buffer zone. Okay, now I'm using my ceramic cuticle bit just to remove the non-living tissue. Gently push back the cuticles. My regular clients tend to have really nice, well looked after cuticles from using this bit every 3 weeks. There's no excessive build-up. There's not too much to push back. We're just removing any overgrowth onto the natural nail so that we get really good adhesion. Okay, and after we've done that, I go in with my hand file. Because gels are so self-leveling, we can usually get a fairly perfect nail just with our application. We don't need to finish file much. So I do like to get all of my shaping correct at the start, and then there's minimal filing to do at the end. So I'm just refining the shape, and I'm also blending the existing product into the natural nail so we're not seeing any ridges or fill lines. The more time that you take to prep at the beginning of an infill will definitely save you at your next infill. If you've prepped properly, you're going to have less lifting issues, less breaking issues, which means faster times at your infills. The files that I'm using are my favourite files. They're the Harbour Bridge 100-180 grit. And you can buy them individually or in packs of 25. I like the 2 different grits. I generally use the harsher grit, the 100 grit, for my prep work to remove my length and to debulk the nail. And then I flip over to the 180 grit. That's all I find you need in the finishing stages. Anything rougher than that can put little scratches and things on the gel. So I like the smoothness of the 180 grit to finish file. Once I have finished my prep filing, I'm going to come in with my Light Elegance cleanser and cleanse the nails, make sure all of the dust is removed from the nails, especially in the side walls. Okay, so just giving them a really good scrub. See how I'm sort of rubbing back on the nail just to make sure that there's nothing caught up under those cuticles or in those side walls. And then I'm going to use Vitaprime. This is an acid primer, so you need to use it very, very sparingly. So I'm just putting one little dot on the regrowth of each of the nails, and you will see that it spreads. And the next product is my favourite bonding agent from Light Elegance. This is called Tack. So we only need to apply it very sparingly from cuticle to free edge, capping the free edge. And this goes into the LED light and cures for 30 seconds. The other bonding agents that you could use are Air Bond and or Power Bond. But Tack is my favourite. I find it the most user-friendly. It seems to work on the majority of nail types. I never get any lifting issues. So I'm sticking with the Tack. Okay, once both hands have cured in the LED light for 30 seconds each, we go into our gel application. I'm using Cover Pink One Step. This is a very thin viscosity, but it does have coverage, so that gives us our nice pink nail bed look. The majority of the product I am placing at the cuticle area, and I'm lightly feathering the rest to the rest of the nail. The main spot we need it is the first half of the nail, the top half of the nail from the cuticle to the stress area. That's going to be our pink area because the tip is going to be our white area. So I'm putting the bulk of the product at the cuticle area and really thinning it out as it gets to the free edge because we really don't want any of it on the free edge. And we're not building any structure with this. This is basically just our base coat, just to give the nail plate that nice pink colour. You could use any of the Cover Pink Light Elegance products, but I just think the One Step is a nice thin viscosity. It lays really easy and it self-levels beautifully. Once we have applied that, it goes into the LED lamp for 30 seconds. And while that's curing, I'm working on the other hand. So there's never any downtime. I'm always working on one of the hands while the other one is in the lamp. Okay, once they are cured, we can start our white tip application. I like to use French tip. French tip is a builder gel. It does have a little bit of thickness about it. So we are slightly building our structure of our free edge with this. So I like to apply it, because it is a builder gel, it's not going to move or run. So I like to apply it to all 5 nails, just to the tip area. So basically the bottom third of the nail. It doesn't matter how neatly we apply it because we are going to ombre it, we are going to feather it into the rest of the nail. So we're basically just getting a good coverage, a nice white coverage, and capping the free edge as well. So you can see it's a beautiful product. It doesn't run. Where we put it is where it stays. You can see in the jar it doesn't move. It doesn't run to the bottom. It's a true builder gel. You can also use this gel for traditional French. You can create smile lines with this gel. Okay, so once I've applied it on the tips of all 5 nails, I'm going to wipe off my brush with a dry wipe. And I'm going to turn my brush around and really lightly feather the product up into our Cover Pink. So try and get the ombre as nice as you can, as faded as you can. Try not to take too much product from the free edge. We still want that really nice thick white on the free edge, and we want the blend to happen in the middle third of the nail. So if you can imagine breaking the nail up into thirds, your top third near the cuticle is going to be perfectly pink. Your bottom third at the free edge is going to be perfectly white, And the middle third is where you're going to have your beautiful blend. So we're aiming to not be able to tell where the pink starts and where the white finishes, or vice versa. Once you're happy with the blend, that can go into the lamp and cure for 30 seconds while you're doing the exact same method on the second hand. And the good thing about this product not running, once you have the perfect blend, it stays there as the perfect blend. So we don't have to flash cure, we don't have to rush at all. You can definitely take your time because the French tip gel isn't going anywhere. Just make sure you're capping the free edge as well, pulling the white over the free edge. That'll stop any shrinkage. And just ombreing again. So don't forget to wipe your brush off of existing product. And using a dry brush, brush that excess white back up into the pink to get a really nice blend. And then that again goes into the lamp for 30 seconds in LED. Okay, the final layer that we're doing is our structure. So I'm using Baby Pink Extreme. You could also use a builder gel, but I do like the self-levelingness of the extreme gels. So you could use soft pink or baby pink. Baby pink does have a hint more colour. And what we're doing now is basically capping our pink and white and creating our structure. So we're covering the whole lot. Don't be afraid to go over the white with this pink. It is a sheer pink, so you are still getting that lovely pink and white look, but you're just softening the ombre a little bit and muting that white down a tiny bit. So don't forget, we are building structure, so make sure you are checking your nails from the side, checking the apex, and adding more gel if need be. Now again, I work fairly fast, so I can manage to do all 5 nails, pop them all in the light together to cure. If you are taking your time a little bit more, I would do 2 nails at a time, just to make sure they're not running too much before you get a chance to cure them. If you are using this method of just doing 2 nails at a time, just cure them for 3, 4, 5 seconds. That's enough to flash cure them and to hold them in their spot while you do the remainder of the nails. And then at the end, you just need to make sure they get, all 5 nails get a 30-second cure, that full cure. And you'll see gravity does a lot of work for you. If you look back at the first and second nail I did, you can see how beautifully they are self-leveling. So don't worry if your application isn't absolutely perfect. Look back after about 10 seconds and you'll find that the gel has usually leveled itself out really nicely. Okay, so once that's applied, it goes into the lamp for 30 seconds, and I'm working on the second hand. Once both ends have been cured, we're using our Light Elegance cleanser to remove the sticky residue, the inhibition layer, and we can begin our finish filing. So because we have that structure, we have that Baby Pink Extreme, it has capped the pink and white, we're fairly safe to file as far into the nail as we need to create our structure. You're not going to remove any of that pink or white that's underneath. So I have a fairly particular filing schedule. I file the same way on each nail. So it's really important, I think, for speed that everybody works out their own filing schedule and has an idea of how you're going to tackle a nail from start to finish. So if you're filing each nail the exact same way, you'll get faster results and you'll get more uniform results as well. And I'm using the 180 grit side, the really soft side of my file. And the good thing about gels is there is very minimal filing. If you're spot on with your application, just a really quick wipe over with your file is generally enough, which is great because nobody likes filing. Okay, and once we have finished filed this hand, we're going to use our Light Elegance cleanser again to remove all of the dust and the debris. Again, making sure there is none in the cuticle areas and the sidewalls. Make sure it's really, really nice and clean, ready for the application of Super Shiny. Super Shiny is our hard gel top coat. It's non-porous, so it's fabulous for hairdressers. It won't stain. It's also great for cleaners, anybody with their hands in water all day. It can be used over both acrylics and gel enhancements. So we apply it like a true gel and float it onto the nail, cap the free edge, and it goes into our LED light to cure for 60 seconds. Once that's in the lamp curing, we can then go onto our second hand and using the exact same steps to finish file, the exact same filing schedule, making sure that our nails are all even and uniform. And again, we're going to go into our Light Elegance cleanser just to remove the dust and the debris and apply our Super Shiny. By the time this hand is ready to go into the lamp, our first hand has cured and it's ready to come out. We can then use the Light Elegance cleanser to remove the tacky inhibition layer and apply the Light Elegance Cuticle Oil. The professional size comes in a dropper bottle, which is great. You can just drop some onto the nail without actually touching it, so you're not getting any contamination. And there we have our French ombre, done in less than 35 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel for future videos. Thanks so much, bye!